Hello there, this is DBT, and this is Art of Runes. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt 8, and today I will be doing a multiplayer protest of the beautiful car that you see on the screen right now, and that is of course the Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato. What I consider to be the rarest Lamborghini car in the entire game, with a bit of an exception, but we'll talk about that. Also, we will have a quick look at what changed in the 𝐀𝐂𝐋 hunt. Even though that happened a few days ago, might as well cover it over here while we're at it. Before I jump into it though, if you like my content, please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel, because doing those things, first, it's free, second, it helps the channel, so go ahead and do it for DBT. But if you would like to support me directly, please consider joining the membership for early access to some of the videos, some exclusives, and what. But alright, so first things first, let's talk about the 𝐀𝐂𝐋 hunt. And that is because, as we figured out on the last video where I talked about it, this whole thing was going to refresh in 7 days from the moment that it started. It already happened. And I would show you the cars, but as you can see, I already own them. So instead, let me show you a screenshot that I took from my other account. You know, that empty account where I don't have a lot of cars, so in that way I get to see all of this type of things. So alright, the cars available this time around in the 𝐀𝐂𝐋 hunt are going to be the Chiron, the regular one. We have the beautiful Apollo IE, both of these are Class S. For Class A, we have the Ferrari FX6 Evoluzione, we have the Pagani Imola. This is a fantastic car, I love the look of this car as well. For Class B, we have the Infiniti Vision GT, the Sbarro something GT1. For Class C, we have the Felino and the Lucra? Is that what it is? I don't quite remember. Then we have the Mazda 6 and the Renault Treasure for Class D. So those are the cars available at the moment in the 𝐀𝐂𝐋 hunt. For the rest of the rewards, last week we got, for example, in the parts department, we had suspension. This time we have exhaust, then we got some boosters, direct upgrades, wildcards, and some currency. So all of this remains pretty much the same. Although I think last time it was Class B direct upgrades, now we have Class C, so you can imagine that we're gonna get some Class D, and who knows. Then, something else that is worth mentioning about the 𝐀𝐂𝐋 hunt, a new change, is the fact that now it's harder to get the cakes. While you can get the cakes through the, what is it called, Sweets and Treats daily events, this one, right, Speeds and Sweets. Over here, you can actually get some cakes in the race. And last week, it was actually relatively giving. We saw that you could get anywhere from 0 to 5 cakes per race. And I would say that the average was somewhere between 2 and 3. I would say that was the average. Yeah, there were times where you would get none. There were times where you could get really lucky and get 5. However, this time around, in all of the races that I have done, the most that I've gotten has been 2 cakes. And more often than not, I get 0 cakes from the race. Now, still, once you finish the race, you can watch an ad, and it will give you an additional cake by watching that ad. And of course, there's always the free cakes that you can get over here. You can get 1 free daily claim, and then I believe 3 or 4 more that you can do for watching ads. So you can still get a decent amount of cakes, but not as many as last time around. And I think that is because a lot of people were figuring out ways to get as many cakes as possible and whatnot, grinding it, and I guess GameLove was like, yeah, that's too many cakes, that's too many rewards, let's limit you. But still, you can still get a couple things. You can see that for the rewards that I have gotten myself, I have gotten a Class D Master Key, and the boosters, and 500,000 fusion coins. So hey, at the end of the day, you can still get some rewards, so there you go. Now, let's finally get to the Lamborghini Sterrato, because of course there's a treasure rush happening for this car at the moment. You know how treasure rush works, and I have won it already. No, I'm kidding. I had this car from a previous treasure rush. But yeah, if you get super lucky, land in the super round, and then in the super round, get insanely lucky and land on the car, that's how you get it. Otherwise, you need to get 8,000 points in order to acquire the car. Now, this is exactly why I said that this is the rarest Lamborghini in the game. Now, let's get into some races. In Classic Season, of course, because that's where things are the most competitive, let me activate some boosters. And as usual, let me show you the stats of the car. Now, again, as I say every time, this information is not particularly useful because the acceleration isn't quite reflective of what it is in-game. But still, in case you were curious to see it, there you go. So let's get into some races and we're going to talk about this car's performance. Now, remember that I said earlier that this is the rarest of Lamborghinis in the game? Here's why. Technically, there's one Lamborghini that has been available only once, so that you could consider the absolute rarest of Lambos in the entire game. However, it's pretty clear to me that that's not going to be the case for long, and I'm talking about the Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo Omologato, the STO that was on a treasure rush last month or somewhere over there. That is even the one Lambo that I don't own because I did not want to pay $150 to guarantee getting the car. And of course, I didn't win it by pure luck in the Treasure Rush, so I don't currently own that car. So yeah, you could say that that is the rarest car. However, that is a Class A car, and I'm pretty sure really, that they're going to be making that car available later on in some other way. Possibly in a car hunt, possibly on a racing pass, something like that. And that's when I will snatch the car when I have the opportunity. So that is what I say that this is the Lambo that is the rarest, because this particular Lambo has only been made available twice, and both have been Treasure Rush. Of course, the current Treasure Rush is the second. So this car was released like a year ago or something in what I call the Lamborghini season, right? Because it was a season in which we got 4 Lambos, if I remember correctly. It was when we got the Huracan Spider Evo. That's when we have also the Diablo. We got, what was the other Lambo that we got? Oh yeah, of course, the Reventon Roadster and this. And like I said, this car was available in a Treasure Rush. That was the only way to acquire it. And at the time, I did well on it, and I paid a lot of money to acquire this car. For now, I got a second place. Not a bad result considering that I saw it. Yeah, there's a 𝐀𝐂𝐓𝐔𝐀𝐋 Absolute. So I got defeated by a Cyan, beautiful car. But I did beat a Divo, 𝐀𝐂𝐓𝐔𝐀𝐋 Absolute, Cyan, ccx Trevita. All right, this guy was on booster, so it doesn't count. Ultima, and this guy is incredibly underranked, so that doesn't count either. But yeah, that's why I said that this is the rarest car, because man, only Treasure Rush so far. Now, the funny thing about it is that this car is ranked 1861. And if you remember, recently I made a video talking about the quote-unquote king of Lambos, at least in rank, and that was the Reventon Roadster. And that is 1862. So by rank alone, you should be understanding that, well, the Reventon is the better car, right? Higher rank and whatnot. But just so that you see how it is clear that rank doesn't really reflect a whole lot of anything, the quote-unquote king of Lambos has been made available, yeah, in Treasure Rush, but also in a car hunt. And so yeah, that has gone quote-unquote cheap compared to the price of a Treasure Rush. Well, yeah, because you got a Treasure Rush, it was on a special event, and last time it was also on a car hunt. And instead, this car of a lower rank, oh Jesus Christ, okay, never mind. Oh good, I mean, intended. Oh, wait a second, that actually worked out relatively alright. Nope, never mind, they just got past. So yeah, and this car of the lower rank compared to the Reventon, it's not been made available in any other way except for, again, the Treasure Rush. So that does tell you that even GameLoves recognizes that this is a better car or values it higher than the Reventon, and yeah, it remains to be rarer. And if you still want to get it, you need to pay a lot of money for it, so there you go. All right, I got another second place. Look at that, DBT getting second place. All right, defeated by the Frangivento Sorpasso, but I did beat the Racer, Boldid, Busta Jesco, a VLF, Faraday, Cyan, and that is that. All right, look at that. I'm telling you, this car do be pretty powerful. We'll get to talk about that, no worries. So, what makes this car so good? Or is it really that good? Or are you just saying that all the other Lambos are not that great and this is just the best of the okay? It is a very good car. Why? Because, number one, nitro. That is its main, I believe, that is its main power. I do know that it has insane nitro duration. Now, it's not as insane as something dumb like those broken B-class cars that I don't even want to mention. But for classes, it does have some really good nitro duration. And both in the perfect nitro and in triple tap nitro. In fact, this is one of the cars that I can precisely feel relatively comfortable using triple tap often, because it has really good duration, like I just mentioned. So that makes it very strong, along with some pretty good acceleration. Nothing, you know, straight up amazing. It's not like, oh my god, this is broken on how good. No. Oh god, I mean, I intended. Still, really good acceleration. The handling, it's on the good side. Nothing straight up, you know, goodish. I would leave it at goodish. Drift is also goodish. But again, the two main things that are powerful about this car is good acceleration with pretty good nitro, really good nitro. So yeah, it makes it for a very strong car overall. So yeah, I would dare to say that this is, in a numbers perspective, I would say that this is first place. Yeah, the first place of Lambos in that sense. Which kind of makes me sad because, you know, I do like this car a lot and I actually like it a lot in this color. But come on. I was hoping for the Cyan to retain that really powerful slot. Okay, it's fine. Whatever. First place, defeating the Aston Martin V12 Vantage, 𝐀𝐂𝐓𝐔𝐀𝐋 Absolute, another Absolute, Cyan. and a bolide. And again, this guy with on the ranked car, so he's still gaining points. Look at that. So good for him. Good for him. You keep going at it, man. Having said all that, is this car worth the $150 that it would cost you to unlock this car for sure in the Treasure Rush? No. No car is worth that much. But if you're really dead set on spending that amount of money for a car, then wait for the 𝐀𝐂𝐓𝐔𝐀𝐋 Absolute to be available again and spend on that one, because that is objectively a better car all around. At least, maybe the 𝐀𝐂𝐓𝐿 Absolute doesn't have the same nitro as this. I don't think it... Oh, god damn it! Well done, DBT. Regardless if some stats are not as great, in general, the 𝐀𝐋 𝐀𝐂𝐓𝐿 Absolute is a better car. And besides, that's an ultimate car that you don't even have to upgrade. Well, this obviously you do have to pro. So, yeah, overall, I'm just gonna say, unless you're a crazy collector like, oh god, like myself, I don't think this is worth it. And even nowadays, even though I'm a crazy collector, I have given up. Because, look, back then, this was a rarity. A Lambo on a Treasure Rush, and once again, in that update when this car was released, yeah, this was Treasure Rush, but we also had the special event for the Lambo Reventon Roadster, so that was not as pay to win as that. We also had, I think in the Racing Pass, that's where you would get the Diablo. The Huracan Evil Spider, I think, also was a special event. So this was just the one Lambo that was insanely expensive. But nowadays, every new car is Treasure Rush. Every single new car that gets added in the game nowadays is Treasure Rush. So that makes it, all of the cars are ridiculously expensive, so I say, no thank you. But alright, so defeated by a lot of things because I crashed, so not fantastic. I only beat an Ultima RS, so there is that. But hey, listen, that was because I crashed, so yeah. Alright, let's do some tests of the car. Oh hey, but there's a shout out to this player who with a Ciandid beat a 𝐀𝐋 𝐀𝐋 Absolute and a Nagera RS. Nice. You know what time it is. Spiral Drifters! Yeah, let's see how good or bad the drift on this thing is. I tell you, at the very least, it's good-ish. Let's see. Yeah, that's very usable. I had to do one release, so that's pretty good. Which again reinforces what I was saying earlier, that it is good at a bunch of things, but really its main power is on the... Oh god, that was way too wide. On the nitro duration. Well, you can see, it's a usable drift. Nothing is straight up broken amazing, but pretty usable. And it should definitely not disappoint in the opposite direction. Well, let's see if DBT doesn't mess it up too much. Get out of the way, Chiron. That is a Chiron 110 ANS, not to be confused with the regular. Not... Oh yeah, no. 110 ANS, yeah, that's the one. Look at that. That was pretty alright. See what I'm saying? It's okay. It's good. Very usable, not disappointing, but nothing amazing. And after a bunch of restarts, I finally found a car that I could out-accelerate without him getting in the way, and that is the Fenner, so that's alright. Let's see what we can do at a time to wall test. Oh, sorry for the coughing over there. The flames continue to get me. Alright, there's attempt number 1, and here's attempt number 2. Again, I'm doing triple tap with 2 buttons to get as quickly as possible to the maximum acceleration, but there you go. 400 something. Alright, good enough, I think. Now, before I jump back into multiplayer races, I want to show you the colors, because this car does have a bunch of color options, which is pretty neat. The default color for the car is this peculiar green, which is similar to the one of the Cyan, but it's not quite the same, and that is by design. Even the IRL cars are not the exact same color. Then we got the blue color that I was just showing you. We got it also in boring AF black. We got it in some green, which looks very nice. We got it on red. We got it in orange, which I think looks absolutely gorgeous because it's a dual tonish orange. We also have it in yellow. And finally, one of my favorites, the non-livery, or the livery that is not a livery, the white one. Just look at that. Oh yeah, why is this zoomed so much? Anyway, yeah, so look at this thing. It's the only livery that has the 63 on the front. No other livery has it, or rather not the color, so this looks pretty dope. Now the car does have a couple of decals, which are over here. Honestly, I think they are alright. I don't love them, I don't hate them either, but they're not interesting enough to me. I really like this one in white with the 63 and the red lines and all of that, so that's the one that I'm going to be using for the rest of this video. Now, I already talked about the performance of the car. Oh, let me remove that zoomed in part. I already talked about the performance of the car and all of that good stuff, right? Now let's talk about what I find funny about this car in this game. First of all, it has the wrong engine. sound. This is a Lamborghini Huracan. Huracans are V10s, but they gave it the V12 general Lambo sound that they use for a lot of the other Lambos in the game and even for other non-Lambo cars, which is understandable. But man, they have a V10 sound in this game. It exists already. But why did they not give it to this car? It's a Huracan. Every single Huracan has a V10. Why give it the V12? So okay, that's one little nitpick that I have about it. Look, I like this sound of this engine in the game, the Lambo V12 engine. But I like variety. I've said it a bunch of times, and I hate that a lot of cars a lot of Lambos have this same engine sound, and very few of them have the appropriate V10. Like the regular Huracan does have it. But all the other V10 cars in this game, for some other V10 Lambo, oh god. All the other V10 Lambos in this game, for some reason, they were like, no, let's give them V12. Want a list? Don't worry, I'll give you one after this race. For now, first place, defeating a Devo, 𝐀𝐋, 𝐀𝐂𝐓𝐔𝐀𝐋 Absolute, a Jesco. There's again that McLaren, and a Triumph Nemesis with that one disconnected. All right, look at that. I'm getting overall pretty good results. So, is that skill or is that the car carrying me? For example, there is the Lamborghini Gallardo. It was the original V10 Lambo. What engine sound does it have here? V12. There is the Sexto Elemento, which is actually in real life, the Sexto Elemento is based off the Gallardo. So it has a V10. What engine sound does it have here? A V12. Then there is the Lamborghini Huracan ST, is the Stevo, the Super Trofeo Evo. That's another V10, but it has a V12. I think you get the idea. There's a lot of the Huracans in this game have V12s. I don't understand why. The only Huracans that don't have the V12 are the base Huracan and the Huracan STO, the latest one that was added. The one that I was saying that is the rarest. Kind of the rarest, but it won't be the rarest for long. That one also has a V10. But the rest, for some reason, they were like, no V12s. So, I don't know. At least I'm glad to see that on the STO, they I don't know if they listened to me or they just one day woke up and they're like, oh yeah, that's right, they're supposed to be a V10. But either way, at least that one is right. But yeah, there's a lot of Lambos that should be V10s. Instead, they made them V12. Now, there's some that are correct. For example, the Asterion, that they gave it the V10. The same for the Stoke, however you want to pronounce it. That's another first place number. Look at the car just scaring me. Jeez, I think this is probably the video in which I've gotten the most W's. For that, you should be hitting the like button already. So yeah, there you go. Look at that. Cyan. All right, there's some. All right. Listen. No shade to this player, but getting a third place with this car, that tells you that everybody else is driving pretty bad. So maybe that really is why I'm getting first places. But either way, you know what? I'm gonna take them. A W is a W. Woo! We're in DB Terra 9. That is the official name of this track, DB Terra 9. Just want to say once again, DB Terra 9. Just thought of mentioning. It's not that I'm trying to get it in your subconscious to always think of DBT when you enter this track, but it's DB Terra 9. Just saying. All right, so now that we're gonna play in DB Terra 9 with a car that I like, and did I mention that this is DB Terra 9? All right, stop for now. But yeah, so the whole thing with the sound is kind of funny, but another thing that is really funny to me is why the Sterrato had to be the best Lambo in the game. Listen, no hate to the Sterrato. It is a very cool looking car. It's a Huracan. I like the engine cover for the car. But you know what makes this car different than other Huracans IRL? This is the only the factory, the factory. It's the only off-road Huracan. Now, why does that matter? Why am I mentioning it while I'm driving in DB Terra 9? I had to do it. Because you know what makes an off-road car off-road? Well, it's the suspension, it's everything. But it's also the fact that it's gonna have off-road tires. And in general, off-road cars are not meant to be fast. Now, that's not to say that it's a slow car IRL, but compared to a regular Huracan, a non-off-road Huracan, this is slower. Why did they decide to make what's possibly the slowest Huracan in the entire family to be the best Lambo in this game? I don't understand. Look, I would understand if they had made the Huracan STO, the newest one, to be the good one, the king of them. Even then I still would not agree, because overall V12 Lambos are faster than V10s, but still it's close enough. So I would understand that. Look at that, a second place in the Vitera 9, that's not too bad. Listen, it might be the Vitera, I'll stop. Jesus Christ. But hey, second place still good. Defeated by iconics at 𝐀𝐂𝐓𝐔𝐀𝐋, but I did beat a Cyan, a Faraday, and a Guerra RS, unboosted Cyan, Faraday, and a Batista, and another unboosted Cyan. Wow. 3 Cyans in one race. That is, you don't see that very often. Cyan is not a card that people love to use. But you know what? I'll take it. Well, we're no longer in Vitera 9. DVT, stop it! Alright, it's fine. Yeah, I don't understand why they had to make the off-road to be the best Lambo in the game. Not that I'm complaining, I just think it's kind of funny that it had to be the off-road, not like a track car or a top speed oriented car or a top speed oriented Lambo. No, it was the off-road one. But hey, whatever. It remains to be seen what other. Oh, you mother. Listen, this is gonna be a bad result because some sore individual doesn't know how to race clean, and instead they have to push people in order to get W's, because otherwise they don't know what honor is. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything is all right. But yeah, I'm so curious about what other Lambos would they add in the game. There's a bunch of other Lambos that they can still port from Asphalt Legends Unite. I was gonna say 9, but no. Asphalt Legends Unite. Because that's what they did with the Diablo, that's what they did with the Huracan Sterrato, that's what they did with the Reventon Roses. Those were basically ported from Asphalt 9. But curiously enough, this one, the Sterrato, is not. This is a card that is unique to this game. It was imported from another, from Asphalt 9 at the time. So hey, I still got a podium, so that's gotta count for something, right? So yes, all right. Did I actually end up beating the guy that knocked me down? Eat it, you! I'm fine. Everything is fine. GG, everybody. I love when that happens. Someone knocks you down and you end up still beating them. That is the ultimate middle finger to those that love to knock down people. All right, here we go. Nevada. Let's see what we can do over here. Well, it's forward, so we should have a nice test of the assisted drift of this car. But yeah, I was thinking, like, if they were to add a new Lambo, I wish they added the Lambo SC63, which is the is it LMP, LMH, LMDH, whatever it is. If you know what that means, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what that means, I don't. It's fine. It's a very peculiar looking Lambo, made specifically for racing. Oh, this is reverse. Never mind. Made for a specific racing series. It's a very peculiar one. It's actually a V8 Lambo, which some time ago we would have said that that's a rare thing, but nowadays we know that the Temerario that was recently announced, it's also a V8 Lambo, though that is a road car, not a full-on race car. So we're talking of different things. I just thought it was funny to mention that it's also a V8. But either way, it's a fantastic looking car. I love the type of car, so that would be pretty dope if they added it. They could add indeed the Temerario on this game, but I believe that they won't. Temerario, if you don't know, the Temerario, it's the replacement to the Huracan. The Huracan finally has gotten on a life peacefully. They made so many versions of the Huracan. It lasted for about 10 years, but finally they put it to the grave, and it's like, it's time for a new Lambo, a new small bull. Because, you know, the new big bull is the Revuelto, which is a replacement to the Aventador lineup. And now the Temerario is the replacement for a Huracan. So they could add that, but they never added it in Asphalt Legends Unite. And I don't think they're gonna add it over here. And I'll talk about that in a second. For now, got defeated by a Senna, 𝐀𝐂𝐓𝐔𝐀𝐋 Absolute in a 1-1, but I did beat Faraday, Cyan, Lycan Hypersport, and Batista. The rest were unboosted. Oh no, wait, there was another Bayan, but that one quit. All right, lovely stuff. Oh crap, my boosters! So I think that they're not gonna add the Temerario here in the same way that they never added the Revuelto in this game, even though it is an Asphalt Legends Unite. In the same way that in Asphalt Legends Unite, they never added the, what was it called? Lanzador, which is the electric that they announced earlier this year, and that was released in another game. Yeah, I don't know. For example, the Temerario, the replacement to the Huracan, I think it was just added like the moment, oh god, they forced me into this route, and thank you very much. The moment that car got, oh god, that was terrible. The moment that car, the Temerario was announced, IRL, it was revealed, it got instantly added in, what car game was it? I don't know, it wasn't another racing game. not in the Asphalt series. So I think Lamborghini, what they're doing is they're just assigning specific cars to specific games to make them relatively exclusive. So, like I said, we got the Roboto in Asphalt 9 at the time, the day that it was unveiled as well. So that was sort of exclusive to that game. In the same way that we got here the Sterrato in this game. I haven't really seen it in other games. So it seems that Asphalt 8 has this as exclusive. And in the same way, I think it was CSR, the one that got the Lanzador, and the Temerario, it was in, I don't remember where, but in another game. So I think that's what Lamborghini is doing, just spreading the newer cars amongst a bunch of different games for the sake of, promotion in different platforms, because it makes sense. But anyway, you can see that this is a bit of a longer video because, of course, it's a Lambo that I thought it was important to talk about, and also because we did a bunch of looking at the 𝐀𝐋 at the start, whatever. A bit of a longer video, but hey, been having some fun with the Lambo, with which I've gotten a decent amount of decent results, or pretty good results, decent amount of pretty good results. So yes, just wanted to drive it a little bit, enjoy it, because funnily enough, this car I rarely use. I don't really bring it too often when I'm playing all by myself. You know that I'm the type of person who likes bringing a bunch of different cars and whatnot. So this car is so good overall that it's one of those cases where I'm like, I mean, I don't want to bring the best cars just to get results, so let me bring something else. And yeah, that's why I haven't been using it a ton. But either way, it's still a very, very useful car. Like I said, not worth the $150 asking price for the car, so maybe you just want to wait and hope that eventually it gets added in a different way, that you're going to be able to acquire it in a different way that is not as expensive. But definitely still a very, very good car, very good looking, love the color options, and well, currently I would dare to call this the king, the actual king of Lambos in this game, giving the overall performance, unlike that Remington Rosa that I continue to wonder why they made it the highest ranked. It's fine, I'm fine. Oh, look at that, a second place. If you want to get hard an opinion, you need to leave me the griffiths, which for today is going to be, who could have guessed that the best Lambo in the game would be the off-road one? First person to post it gets a hard opinion, you know how that whole thing works. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.